well, if you take a really close look at this, you can see that it has the texture of an exotic skin. So this basically shows us a rodeo that's made of either alligator or croc, which shouldn't exist, or should it? Hello my friends, this I think is going to be the last What's New from Hermes update, at least for the year, going over some of the latest Hermes launches that should be in stores now. This past week I stopped by my home store just to have a little sneak peek at the upcoming spring summer collection, and while I was there I came across a handful of new pieces on display that I figured some of you out there would appreciate knowing about, especially if you're planning on stopping by your store before the holiday season. So if you'd like to chat about some fun new Hermes launches, including a new style of a Birkin and Kelly that are quite literally exceptional, then please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and keep on watching. I feel like one of the most controversial pieces that Hermes makes are their belts, especially when it comes to their H belts that some people absolutely adore and just as many people hate. I personally find that there is still a time and a place for an H belt in your collection, as long as you know how to style it in a balanced fashion. I think if you're going to style it with the most logoed out look, it can come off a little bit cheapish, but if you're styling it with a really simple monochromatic ensemble, it can add that just little je ne sais quoi element that is not the easiest to get. So I am personally a big fan of their H belts, as long as you go for the right size that goes with your proportions, because that is also a telltale sign that you're not necessarily buying it for the look, but just for the branding, which there's nothing wrong with. It's your money, you spend it on whatever you want to. But I would say that if you're going to buy an H belt, it's important that you choose the one with the right proportions for you. Personally, my favorite H is in the 24 centimeter size, and I like to go for ones that are in a fun, unique texture, or they have some sort of a leather element to them. But if you've always wanted an H belt, but you could never find one that was unique enough, now you can pick them up in an enamel finish in a ton of different colors that will get you the look of the H, but in a much more refined and unique fashion. So that might be something that you want to look into, as well as their new chain belts, which seems to be a new field that Hermes is entering. Beforehand, I would have never thought of Hermes as a brand who would make chain belts, and to be honest with you, looking at these belts, I still don't. I think if you're going to spend your money on a chain belt, which tend to be quite expensive, I would suggest that you go to a brand who knows how to do them. So I think of Chanel when I think of chain belts, or even Versace, but definitely not Hermes. But they are trying. So they have come out with two new chain belts, one inspired by their iconic Medor pyramids, and one that is called the Artemis belt, which obviously draws inspiration from the brand's equestrian heritage. But when I saw this, it immediately reminded me of a nose ring or a nose piercing. I'm not sure why I made that correlation, but that's what the pattern reminded me of. Do let me know in the comment section what you think, but I did not get the equestrian look at first glance. And especially for $3,000, if you're spending so much money on a chain belt, you want it to not only add a statement to your collection, but also have the effect of almost adding a beautiful piece of fine jewelry to your ensemble. And I don't think that these would do that for you. They look more like something you bought from Claire's than something that you bought from a luxury house. Another design that kind of caught me off guard when I saw this, I was like, are we back in 2017? Otherwise, I'm not sure what's going on, because Hermes is launching a new design of sock shoes, which I get it, sock shoes were popular at one point, even I bought into the trend, Hermes tried their luck, which was short-lived, but they also came out with sock sneakers. They continued to make sock boots, but they're coming out with a new design for sock sneakers, which I didn't quite understand. But I'm here to report to you that in case you like the look, there is a new sneaker coming out that's both available for men and women called the Eclair sneakers, which are knitted and they feature this really cool graphic sole, which you would think are going to be heavy as a brick, but they are surprisingly light. You know that feeling when you are about to lift a bag and you're like, right, if I lift this, it's going to break my back, but then they turn out to be really light. That's exactly how I felt about these shoes. They were featherweight. I'm not sure how they achieved that, but they were really light and comfortable too. I have to give them that. They did feel like walking on clouds. But it's a pair of sock shoes and it's 2021. I mean, what can I say? Times are changing and Hermes needs to catch up. But if you're solely looking for a comfortable pair of shoes, this might be something that you want to put on your wish list. Would this be a what's new from Hermes update if we didn't discuss some new back charms, which it seems that Hermes never runs out of ideas for. They're not always great ideas, but they always have them. And this season they are coming out with two new back charms, obviously on top of the Teddy Rodeo that we have already talked about. And did you guys realize that the Teddy Rodeo is actually supposed to be a little dog, not a horse? I was just told that recently, which in hindsight makes a lot of sense because the Teddy Rodeo looks nothing like a horse. It doesn't look like a dog either, but it makes more sense considering that it looks more like a dog chew toy than anything else, so at least that is on brand. But we have already discussed the Teddy Rodeo in length in many of my previous videos, so I'll make sure to link those down below in case you'd like to hear my thoughts. And let's move on to some of the newer charms, one of which is called the GeeGee Savannah charm, and it's inspired by zebras. Well, when you first hear that Hermes has a zebra inspired charm, you might be like, have they lost their mind? It's not a horse, it's a zebra. But if you know Hermes and if you know their iconography, they do borrow animals from the jungle and from the savannah here and there, especially when it comes to their scarf designs. So it's not that crazy considering that they also had a charm that was inspired by a tiger. Now they have one inspired by zebras. I'm not sure what to tell you. I personally wouldn't buy them and put them on my bag because if anything it looks like a souvenir keychain that you got from a zoo, not something that you bought from Hermes for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But if you like the way they look, they're available now in 6 different shades, from more monochromatic color combinations all the way to some more vibrant tones, and they can be yours for 500 euros right now. And one more back charm, which I have to be honest got me a lot more excited than the GeeGee one, which is actually inspired by one of my most favorite Hermes pieces, the Ulysse notebook, which you can now pick up in a micro size that you can actually attach onto your favorite bag. I can just imagine someone incredibly chic walking down to the grocery store with their little Ulysse notebook attached onto their bag, which is actually functional, so you can write things on the inside, you can put your to-dos on it, you can write your grocery list or whatever you want to note down. You can open it up in the grocery store and look at all the things that you need to add to your cart. And last but not least, the icing on the cake is going to be a new style of Kelly and Birkin, which are so-called exceptional pieces, which means that Hermes makes even fewer of them than they do of other bags. So if you would like to add either one of these to your collection, you'll have to be quick and you have to have the most amazing relationship and rapport with the brand. But the two new styles are the so-called In and Out Birkin and In and Out Kelly, which I'm sorry, but I cannot say without thinking about the burger. But anyway, they are called the In and Out Birkin and the In and Out Kelly. And they're part of the same collection, sort of the last final act of the police check-in scarf collection, which Hermes had out A couple of years ago, I bought mine, I think, back at the beginning of 2020, which I showed you guys before in my scarf collection video, which was basically an x-ray of their iconic Kelly bag, and you could see every single content of the bag. Well, this is their next take on that very same design, where they took the iconic Kelly and Birkin bags and they revealed to the world the secret of all secrets. What could possibly be hiding in your bags? And what's interesting is actually the little cartoons on these bags. But both bags come in swift leather in size 25. But I would love for you to have a really close and careful look at the little cartoons on this bag. What do you see? So everything on this bag should exist. So one of the first things that I noticed was the strap coin purse, which is something that recently came out in their so-called lanyard range. It's basically this little round coin purse that has a shandong inspired fastening. The next thing you see is going to be their braided leather pencil, which I haven't seen in a while, but that is also something that Hermes made at one point in time. You see one of their lip balms or lipsticks. I'm not sure which one. I would like to think that it's one of their lip balms. You also see a dust bag. And last but not least, they also have a rodeo on this bag. But do you notice anything strange about this? Well, if you take a really close look at this, you can see that it has the texture of an exotic skin. So this basically shows us a rodeo that's made of either alligator or croc, which shouldn't exist, or should it? I'm wondering if this is a foreshadowing of the next rodeo launch, where the entire body of the horse will be made of exotic skin. I just feel like it would be strange if they had a bag full of things that do exist or existed at one point in time, and then they would have something on it that is just made up. To me, that wouldn't make too much sense, so I don't know for a fact if the exotic rodeo is coming, but at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. And the same goes for the Kelly bag. Everything that you see on that bag painted exists or existed in the past. So you have a silver shandong bracelet, you have a little clochette key holder, again in exotic skin, which I'm not sure if they still produce, but they definitely made those for at least decades. Then you have the Hermes Citron pochette, which was also around at one point, not only in the form of a bag, but also the form of a bag charm. And then you have a lipstick in this case. So I feel like it would be strange if they just put one random piece alongside with things that are actually rooted in reality. But let me know what you think. Do you think this is a forecast of what's to come? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and please also let me know if you would be open to buying a full-on exotic rodeo bag charm, bearing in mind that we would probably have to pay exotic prices for it. So my educated guess would be that it would be around 3 to 4 times the price of a regular rodeo. Would you be open to buying it even at that price? Let me know in the comment section, and also let me know if there were any pieces in this video that caught your eye and that stood out to you. I cannot wait to hear your feedback and your wish list. But this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, especially because I have a lot more of these planned for the new year. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you back here with a new video really, really soon. But for now, bye.